Namaskar friends, this is NJ, your host on this channel. In this video, we will have our discussion on the placement of planet Jupiter in different houses of the D9 chart. So guys, as you know that when we talk about the importance of the D9 chart, which is the ninth division of our main ascendant chart, like in our Vedic scriptures and doctrines, it has been attached the second most important chart after our Lagan chart. So what does D9 chart tells about? So D9 chart tells about your matrimonial life. It validates the true strength of the planets, and also when we talk about the ninth division of the ascendant chart, so if ninth house tells about the prospects of your luck, of your fortune, so you can also give attention to the D9 chart to see that how much in the journey of life this native will be divine protected. Prospects of luck and fortune will benefit this native in all areas of life. So now guys, that is the only reason when we talk about which all planets you have to give specific attention to while studying the D9 chart. So planet Venus and planet Jupiter becomes very important. Venus, because Venus is the significator of relationship, because primarily we see this chart from the perspective of seeing someone's matrimonial life as well. And after that, like, Jupiter becomes very important because this is ultimately the chart of your religious austerities, divine protection, true wisdom. So because of which Jupiter is also attached as the significator or karaka of this chart. Like, you must be getting curious that rather than the zodiac sign or correlation with the main ascendant chart, why I'm giving more emphasis to the house. So guys, house becomes very important because try to understand it in a very simpler language. If a planet represents energy, zodiac sign represents that how that energy will be expressed, and ultimately from where the results will come. For that, we have to give attention to that in which house that planet is placed. So you can summarize the content of this video in this way, that through this video we will try to understand that whether through matrimonial life, whether through religious austerities, or this could be because of the good deeds which you have done in the past lifetimes, which specific area of your life is going to be divine protected, where luck will support you, or the maximum gains and prosperity will be experienced in this lifetime. That we will try to understand through decoding Jupiter's placement in different houses of your D9 chart. And guys, just to support this video, I have also collected certain celebrity reference chart as well, which might give us insight that when we talk about the contribution coming in from the planet Jupiter from the D9 chart, how can we study it in parallel, in tandem with Jupiter's role in the main ascendant chart as well. So guys, let's take up the first case of this famous singer Billie Eilish. So now I have also done a video on assessing her chart as well, that the role of Ketu when it comes down to the stardom. So as you can see in her main ascendant chart, she has got Aquarius rising over there, Mars being placed right over there in the first house. But moreover, because in this video we have to give more attention to the planet Jupiter, so in her main ascendant chart, Jupiter is placed in the fifth house being conjunct with Rahu. So in a way that when we talk about a material life, or when we talk about artistic and creative talents, fifth house plays a very important role over there. Although Jupiter is getting heavily afflicted in the main Lagan chart, but for the wealth point of view and for the talent point of view, this can still be seen as a good placement. So this was the state of her main ascendant chart. Now the moment we will open the D9 chart, over here you can fairly see that she has Jupiter placed in the 11th house, placed in its own sign of Pisces, and it is also conjunct with the Venus as well. Venus is exalted, and Venus is also the lord of the first house of the D9 chart. So guys, that in itself tells about that in her case, like, you call it divine blessings, you call it divine protection, or the maximum gains through the support of the luck is experiencing in her 11th house. Now There is no debate on this, that when we talk about popularity, we talk about stardom, we talk about major financial windfall gains, this excess of 11th house and 5th house plays a very pivotal role over there. So you can fairly see this kind of gifts which Jupiter is bestowing in her life. Now guys, the second celebrity chart which we will study today is of the Baba Ramdev. So he is a very revered, very respectable yoga guru from India. He actually brought a reform, or like I would say revolution, the way people see yoga. Like before that, yoga was all like in people's mind, yoga was only attached or connected with celibates or saints who are living in the mountains. Like there were people who were like very spiritually oriented, who had yoga as a part of their lifestyle. But this is the contribution of this great man who brought yoga to the attention of every household. So because of which he became a very big name, and he has actually done a good job. So guys, if you will see in the Lagan chart of Baba Ramdev ji, you can fairly see that he has Jupiter placed in the 12th house. Now basis his Lagan chart, Jupiter definitely is a very auspicious planet, because it is the lord of the 9th house of luck and fortune, and a very good friend with the ascendant lord moon. But guys, when we talk about the case of the saints or celibates, like all those people who have completely renounced the world and they have embraced the spirituality, or they have taken sannyas, so over there 12th house plays a very pivotal role. So that can be a very good first sign. Now the moment you will look at his D9 chart, so in the D9 chart, and guys, one more thing which I want to highlight over here, that in this whole discussion, if your D9 charts first house sign is ruled by the planet Jupiter in itself, that in the D9 chart you have a Sagittarius rising, you have a Pisces rising, that in itself makes your D9 chart or the prospects of luck or religious austerities or religious pursuit very strong in your case. So in a way, just having these rising signs in the D9 chart gives additional weightage and power to the Jupiter. So guys, in the D9 chart, as you can fairly see, even he has got Jupiter placed in the 11th house. Now we have to also give attention to that in which sign it is placed. So Jupiter is placed in the 11th house, but it is also placed in a very Rajasic sign of Libra. So whatsoever his ultimate objective was, to bring a reform and the way people perceive yoga and the health well-being, that not only that desire or wish not only got fulfilled, gave him popularity, he was able to become a larger than life figure in that field, but also it gave very strong material gain as well. Now that is a different case, that he did not use it for his personal use, he actually used that for again using the money to bring reform and for charitable reasons as well. After that guys, now we will take up the case of actors, people connected with art and entertainment industry. So we will first take up the case of Brad Pitt. Now if you will look at his chart, so in the main ascendant chart he has got Scorpio rising over there. So guys, I recently uploaded a video where I put emphasis on your birth date vibration. So he has got his birth date number as 18, which is a number controlled by the planet Mars. Now in his Lagan chart he has got a Scorpio rising, so there is a one synchronicity which we can see over here. Now if you will look at his second house is very empowered with so many planetary placement. Now if you have watched one of my video where I brought this concept in everyone's attention, that the great Indian astrologer K.N. Rao sir, he gave lot of weightage to the second house, that these are those people with prominent second house are the people who are born with a specific purpose, a purpose to fulfill, like that strong resolution and determination you can find. So definitely guys, so many planets and Mars, Ketu, Sun, Mercury, Moon, almost 5 planets placed in the second house not only make him very firm, strong-willed, strong vocal power, speech, and also prospects of finances as well, wealth, luxury, all that can be foreseen with this kind of accentuated second house. Now guys, just because we have to give weightage and attention to the Jupiter, so Jupiter is placed in its own sign in the 5th house in the Lagna chart. So definitely for people connected with art, entertainment, creativity, 5th house plays a very pivotal role. Now the moment we open up his D9 chart, in the D9 chart he has got Jupiter placed in the 12th house. Now guys, if you remember the point which I made over here in this video, that if you have got a in the D9 chart you have Lagna being ruled by the planet Jupiter, that in itself gives a heightened attention and power to Jupiter's role in your prospects of luck, dharma, fortune, protecting you. So Jupiter is placed in the 12th house. Now guys, this can be seen as a blessing in disguise, that because in a way film and television industry, art entertainment industry is also very strongly connected with the 12th house as well. Like yesterday only I was watching Avatar. So to create that illusionary world and live within it, now whether no matter in which capacity you are associated with those kind of projects, whether you are a producer, you are a director, you are a writer, or you are an actor, important is that strong faith and resolution in the concept on which you are working, like that sort of parallel reality which you have created around yourself. So because of which Jupiter in a way plays a very important role, and not only in the chart of the Brad Pitt, but also the next chart, celebrity chart, which we will study, over there as well you will see that Jupiter is somehow connected with the 12th house. Now this is my interpretation. If you have something else to add, looking at these two charts of Brad Pitt and its placement in the 12th house in the Navamsa chart and being in the Scorpio, if you have something else to add, I will look forward to your suggestion in the comment box. After that guys, let's look up the case of Leonardo DiCaprio. So in his case as well guys, as you can see that he is born with the Virgo rising, moon being placed in the first house, and again if you will look at the second house, so we have Mercury, we have Sun, we have Venus, we have Mars being placed in the second house. So definitely we do not need any proof that how perfectionist this person is towards his field, towards his craft. And I have already mentioned this thing, that second house in itself grants this sort of strong life purpose, a vision to follow. And guys, if you will look at Jupiter's placement, Jupiter is placed in the 6th house in the main Lagna chart. So although Jupiter's placement in the 6th house is not considered as very good, but the way other planetary alignments are contributing to it, it can actually act as a blessing in disguise, that it can protect you from any of the concerns of health, diseases. And when we talk about doing service, strong association with charities, over there Jupiter can also play a very pivotal role. Now guys, specifically if we have to see the chart from the perspective of luck and fortune, so now we will take our attention to the D9 chart. In the D9 chart over here as well, he has got Jupiter placed in the 12th house, and again in the D9 chart Jupiter has got the rulership over the first house, like Jupiter rules the Navamsa Lagna. It is placed in the 12th house, so that also tells about the same point which I mentioned, that for people connected with art, creativity, spirituality, 12th house plays a very pivotal role, and Jupiter's placement over here will definitely help him, support him, reinforce him in completely submerging in the craft or in the field to which he belongs to. Now guys, after that, now let's take up the case of last two cases. So first we will take up the case of Bill Gates. Now if you will look at his Lagna chart, he has got Jupiter well placed in the second house, the house of your income, the house of your finances. So that can be seen as a very good sign. And now guys, because when you have this sort of placement, it also makes you very virtuous as well. Like see, lately there have been so many videos doing the rounds about trying to expose Bill Gates and all of that, but I'm very much sure that nothing has been proven so far. And when it comes down to the kind of charity he has done all across the globe, so definitely that a good aspect of his personality, of his vision cannot be undermined. Now guys, if you will take up the same discussion to his D9 chart, he has got Jupiter placed in the 10th house, and that too in a very Eartha sign of Taurus. So definitely guys, luck supporting him, divine supporting him in the prospects of his professional life, in his professional endeavors. So I'm very much sure that I have watched some of his videos where in the interview he has mentioned this thing, that somehow whatsoever he was set out to achieve, he kept on running at the right people, right opportunities at the right time. So Jupiter's placement in the 10th house can also be a validation of that as well. And lastly guys, the last chart which we will look at is the of Michael Jordan. Now if we will look at the chart of Michael Jordan as well, Jupiter is placed in the 9th house in his main Lagna chart and being conjunct with the sun over there. So definitely Jupiter is the planet of religious austerities, of faith, doing something which is going to inspire the world. So Jupiter is placed in the 9th house, and if you will look at his D9 chart, over there Jupiter is placed in the 3rd house. So again guys, when we talk about athletes and all, so in their case 3rd house plays a very important role, like the way when we were talking about for actors, for them 5th house becomes very important. People like who are renunciates, 12th house becomes very important. So specifically for the athletes, 3rd house becomes very important. Jupiter's placement over here, and if you will see that Jupiter again rules the 1st house of the D9 chart. So definitely in his art, in his like sports skills, Jupiter might have supported him, or luck or divine bliss might have supported him. That we can see with this kind of placement of Jupiter in his 3rd house. So guys, this was just a basic overview of looking at different reference charts. Now we will start our discussion. So like the way I have already mentioned this thing, that here we are trying to study Jupiter's placement from this point of view, that in which specific area of your life all of the religious austerities done by you, all of the right set of ethics and virtues demonstrated by you in this life will help you. So let's take up the case that in someone's D9 chart, Jupiter is placed in the 1st house, which can be seen as a very good sign. Like nothing could be better than that. Like I would say guys that when Jupiter is placed in your 1st house in the D9 chart, then that in itself tells about that dharma or luck is going to be supporting you all areas of your life, because here we are talking about fulfilling all of your duties and responsibilities, whether it has to do with dharma, artha, kama, moksha, whether it has to do with your professional obligations, whether it has to do with your family duties and responsibilities, or doing something or those acts for your spiritual elevation. So Jupiter's placement in the 1st house will keep you firm in the path of dharma. Like the definition of dharma is customized to individual, but whatsoever life goals you are meant to follow, Jupiter will keep on protecting you in all of those areas of life. And I would also say that with this kind of placement, a marriage can also play a very blessed role in the life of the native. Now guys, let's say for example, if you will find Jupiter to be placed in the 2nd house of your D9 chart, so that is a very good sign, because like the way you have seen in the a lot many celebrity charts as well, like all those people who have got very strong a vision for their life, like a strong purpose to follow, or in their case their tradition, their values, their virtues are very strong, like in order to stay firm in your traditional roots, and from the perspective of gaining some sort of consistent financial opportunities, Jupiter's placement in the 2nd house can be seen as a very good sign. Now guys, if Jupiter is placed in your 3rd house of the D9 chart, now guys, like there is a placement called Mandakaraka Sthana, where a planet kind of feel itself to be in a death afflicted state. So Jupiter's placement in the 3rd house of the D9 chart, I want to be very honest, it can be seen as good for the material aspect of the life. Like when we talk about, like, you know, a passion in the marriage, desires need to be fulfilled through marriage. So in all those areas, Jupiter's placement in the 3rd house will act as a blessing. But when we talk about finding that true nectar of bliss, in the path of service, in the path of religious austerities, over there native has to work hard. Now guys, if you will find Jupiter's placement in the 4th house of the D9 chart, that is a very good placement for self-realization. And also guys, 4th house tells about your inner happiness as well. A lot many times I see astrologers going wrong in their assessment, that they only give attention to the 7th house when it comes down to marriage. But if you have to take my opinion on that, I would say fourth house also plays a very important role in your domestic life, like that sort of happiness which needs to be experienced through marriage or through companionship. So Jupiter's placement in the fourth house of the D9 chart will bestow some very good results, whether in your matrimonial life, in your family life, in your financial goals. It is a very good placement. The good aspect is that, guys, see, at the end of the day, no matter in which stage of your life you are in, ultimately all this run and hoard and competition is to feel happy, to feel contented. So Jupiter's placement in the fourth house of the D9 chart, well expected, well supported by other factors, will make this person very grateful, very contented. It hardly matters. Like this person with like $1,000 in his account might feel like he's as grateful that he has got millions stashed in his bank account. After that, guys, like if you will find Jupiter to be placed in the fifth house of the D9 chart, it is a very good placement because in so many areas it is going to help you. First of all, it will give you a right set of mind, right thought process. This can give you some very unique talents as well, creativity as well, some good deeds which you have done in the past lifetime that can manifest in this lifetime in the form of getting blessed with a very good and talented progeny, some unique talents. So this is a very good placement. Now, guys, if you will find Jupiter to be placed in the sixth house of the D9 chart, so guys, it all comes down to in which dignity Jupiter is placed over here. Definitely, if a native is living his life completely dedicated and devoted to the service, then this can manifest some very good results. But if you find that Jupiter is not placed in a harmonious sign, it is afflicted in the main Lagna chart as well, then the prospects of free flow of luck can get obstructed. Now, guys, if you will find Jupiter to be placed in the seventh house of the D9 chart, a very good sign, whether you talk about attainment of position, matrimonial bliss, fulfilling your duties, responsibilities, and overall a very good public image. So regarding all that front, Jupiter's placement in the seventh house of the D9 chart is a very good sign that divine blessings will be experienced through the established connections in the world. Now, guys, when we talk about Jupiter's placement in the eighth house, now the trick over here is that, see, in the D9 chart, when we talk about all sort of personal weakness, karmic debts that generally manifest or show its head or its symptoms from the accentuated 8th house in the D9 chart. But the blessing over here is that if you will find Jupiter to be well placed in the 8th house, like Jupiter to be placed in the Cancer, in the Sagittarius, in the Pisces, so there will be some sort of obstruction or some sort of personal weakness which native might manifest, but just because Jupiter is well placed over here. What could be a better way than you do not have to do anything, you are in a relationship where you are gaining through other people. So you might find it difficult to do your job or be in a consistent environment, but because your partner is providing you everything, so that weakness of yours is getting compensated. And definitely, guys, finding divinity through occult practices, through occult norms, can be seen as a very good sign with this placement of Jupiter. Like the way, guys, see, if I were to explain my stance with someone who is very much devoted to Krishna consciousness or any form of religious practice, so definitely they are born with that enlightened state that irrespective of, they do not need any validation or proof to see divine or the miracles or blessings or the power of the divine. But someone like me, on daily basis I see these miracles in the real time in the chart of people. The more research of astrology we are doing, this is how we are gaining and we are seeing the divinity all around us through some practical application of the occult. So yes, guys, this could be one of the way of studying the placement of Jupiter in the 8th house. Now, guys, if you have Jupiter to be placed in the 9th house, that can be seen as a very good validation that divine is supporting you. Like some good deeds done by you in the past lifetimes have given you this kind of placement. And guys, it hardly matters that where Jupiter is placed in the D9 chart for other people. But if you have Jupiter placed in the 9th house, you have to always remain very firm in your faith, in your religious austerities, because a lot many times I keep on coming across all those people that in their case, if their chart or their life is not supporting them in different areas, like this could be you are facing the heat on the account of health, on the account of relationship, on the account of finances, people start writing negative things. So this could be acceptable and can be forgivable for someone who has got Jupiter in any other house. But if you have Jupiter in the 9th house, you have to always remain respectful towards anything which has got religious vibe attached to it, because guys, in your case, divine is all the time protecting you. Whether you have gained that sort of conscious awareness to see that in black and white or not, but divine is all the time supporting you. So yes guys, in all areas of life, when we talk about having that discriminatory intelligence, strong luck, and doing something very inspirational in the life, and always being at the right time at the right place, so for all that perspective, this is a very good placement. Now friends, if you will find Jupiter's placement in the 10th house of your D9 chart, so guys, I always say this thing, that this is a kind of a typical placement where divine intervention or luck will keep you firm in the right path in your life. Like whatsoever your life purpose is, somehow, like no matter how other planets or dasha or transit is creating temptation or creating a distraction, but somehow divine will keep you firm in your path. This can be seen as one of the indication or outcome of this placement of Jupiter in your 10th house. And let's say for example, with this kind of placement, you are a active spokesperson of your faith, of your religion. This placement can manifest some very good results, whether in your professional sphere, whether giving you a very enhanced public image, giving you connection with some prominent people in the society. So in all regards, this is a very good placement. Now friends, if you will find Jupiter's placement in the 11th house of your D9 chart, so guys, I always say this thing, that 11th house not only tells about your vision, your goals, your dreams, but what you will ultimately become in the life. So Jupiter's placement and its energies in the 11th house, if working in a right way, that you are a very religiously oriented person, you are very virtuous person, so this placement can not only give you strong connections, can give you popularity, fulfill all of your wishes. And with this kind of placement specifically, I always say this thing, that you know, any of the fasting, pilgrimage, discipline, if you will show in your religious duties, in your religious path, this can manifest some very good results. It will eventually and ultimately make you something who will be well respected in the society and in the community. And after that guys, if you will find Jupiter to be well placed in the 12th house of your D9 chart, so guys, this is a very good placement specifically for having those transcendental experiences. Like this could be any sort of, you know, strong intuition guiding you, divine communicating you with you through those dreams, through those epiphanies and realization, awakenings. So this is how Jupiter's placement in the 12th house will work for you. The good aspect is that with people in whose case Jupiter is well placed in the 12th house, their expenses or their exertion of energies generally take place in right direction, in right things. So this is something guys which I wanted to say as a part of my inputs. For further more updates and notifications on the divine science of Vedic astrology, please subscribe to my YouTube channel and like my Facebook page. Dhanyavad.